Now that we've generated the hash key from the SHA1 online website, we're going to come back into the Acme Academy application, update the work item, enter the hash key into the comments, update the status to completed, and click Update Work Item. You should be pretty familiar with creating new components now. Let's use our brand new component template and create the component that will do these activities. Let's go into the Acme Academy process folder, copy the component template, create a new component in Acme, and let's call that new file Acme Update Work Item. Okay, in our project, let's refresh and let's open up the Update Work Item component and let's make the changes as we do normally. We're going to change the component name first of all. Let's see what else we can change. Do we have any arguments coming in? Yes, we do. We're going to have the hash key coming into this component. Generated hash key. Additionally, we're also going to have the status of the work item. Let's create a new argument in work item status. Initially, we'll set the default to completed and the hash key to 1234567. We'll perform a quick check to make sure that the in-generated hash key is correct. We'll then copy this if statement, make sure that the status has also been provided. We could go one step further and ensure that the in work item status is one of the accepted values. In this case, these values would be open, rejected, or completed. However, I'll leave that to you. Let's update the exception messages for each of the exceptions. Firstly, generated hash key was not provided. Secondly, work item status was not provided. Let's make sure the log messages also make sense. Let's change argument 1 to hash key. Let's change argument 1 here to work item status. And let's also make sure that the value that's being shown is the correct value. Okay. Check screen. Let's actually, in this case, we are going to check that we're on the correct screen. Press F2 to get rid of the folder menu. And we're expecting to be on the work items page. Let's double check that we're referenced in the right selector. In this case, the title is Acme System 1, Work Items, and the tag is Body. That's exactly what we want. We don't need to make any changes here because the exception message is generic enough, as is the log message. We can remove the check file path exists, we don't need that, and let's perform some actions. Finally, we don't have any arguments going out, so we can simply delete this last argument check. Okay, let's go and record the steps to update the work item. First of all, we'll delete the out argument 2, as that's not required. And let's get a recorder. We're going to click Update Work Item. We're going to enter the text into the Add Comments. We may as well click Empty Field, even though technically it's not required. We're going to update the status. Click Completed. Then click Update Work Item. You'll see that a message box pops up. Let's click OK. And finally, let's close the Work Items Update window. I'm going to select No to using an anchor. Press Escape, save and exit, and let's view the recording. Okay, so one thing that's important with this is that each time a new window pops up, we have to attach to a different browser or a different window. First of all, let's try rerunning this to see if it works first time. It does, fantastic. Let's move the web recording into the Perform Actions. Let's cut and paste the web recording into the Perform Actions section. Let's take a quick look at the selectors to make sure we're happy with them. Really, all I'm looking for is anything that's too specific to a particular page. Next up, let's change where we're typing the hash code into our argument that we've passed in generated hash key. Next, we don't need the click button as this is a redundant step. The next thing we're going to do is check the selector for where we're selecting completed, because ultimately we want this to select whichever value is passed in. That might be completed, rejected, or open. What we're doing here is selecting where the AA name is equal to completed. What we can do is intercept this information by adding our variable instead of the completed text. Where the text completed was, put double quotes, in between those put 2 plus signs, and then put your in work item status argument. Great. Therefore, rather than picking completed, it will pick whichever name is selected based on the in work item status argument. Next up, we're clicking the pop-up window. Finally, we're clicking the close button on the update work item status window. Okay, now we've updated the arguments. Let's see if this works successfully. Fantastic.